Hi everyone, Trashfellow here, and today I'm about to show you probably one of the greatest editions that came out from the movie Dawn of the Dead, and that is actually the Perfect Collection Laserdisc released by the label Emotion or Gaga Communication in the middle of the 90s. And this Laserdisc version was actually released at the same time as the VHS tape that I showed you in the last week. And yeah, let's get a closer look at this amazing edition. First of all, what I can already say is that it is pretty heavy. And at the front we do have a OBI, and these are very common in Japan. And the OBI is normally used as yeah, some kind of information addition to the edition itself, to get more information about the specific edition, the price, and yeah, things like that. If we take a closer look at the front cover, we can already see that it looks identical to the front cover from the VHS tape. And it is again this chrome version, and the OVI here on the front is loose, but you will get to see how they put on the OVI here on this disc. It does fit here quite well, but you will get to see that later on. Taking a closer look at the spine, and here you can already see that yeah, it has been issued by Emotion. And here again the title, which I really do love. Again here the head, which does look identical to the front, and written here in big zombie Dawn of the Dead Perfect Collection. Taking a closer look at the back side, there's actually nothing really special about it, but what you can probably see is that it includes the Argento selected version, but that is probably something that we will get to see later on. As well, here down below we do have some informations, and yeah, the first thing that we get to see is that there's actually written something in Japanese here, as you can see, but here in the middle it says that it costs 20,000 yen, or 20,600 yen, which is equal to 166 euros, which is probably something about $220, which is quite a lot. So this is actually the price for the Laserdisc when it came out. And yeah, here we get to see when the movie was released, 1978. And yeah, the rest is something that I can't read. Okay, let's get a closer look at the inside of the box, and that is something very special. First of all, we will get to see how the OBI is yeah, put on here. First of all, opening this up, we will get to see that it is actually fixed from the inside, so it doesn't fall out, which is quite a very nice idea. Although I do see a disadvantage in this kind of packaging, and that is actually something that is a little bit disappointing. But to show you that, I will turn around again the box and open it up so that you can see what I mean. Okay, now this is open. You can actually see that there are only two cardboards which are glued with yeah, some kind of, I don't know, sticker or something like that here, which to my mind is a little bit too, yeah, let's say precarious to my mind, because everything that has been glued can, I mean, if you open and close this box, of course you won't open and close the box so many times, but you can already see that the tape here on the side is a little bit peeling off. So if you open and close the box many times, probably one day yeah, we'll have two parts of this box set, but I think that this is just the only thing that I have to complain about. So let's jump back into the inside of the box, and there you got to see stuff that you haven't seen before. And first of all, what we get to see is actually a huge booklet. This is all made in color, and here we do have again the front from the Laserdisc issued by Victor, which is yeah, again here the cover, which does look like being printed in a badly way. This is the front, how it looks, and here's the back side showing the Italian artwork. Very nice colors used here for this booklet. It actually is purple, but in the camera it does look blue. Kind of weird, but that is probably just my my light that does it. Okay, opening it up, get a closer look at the inside, and this is just amazing, guys. I mean, if you take a closer look at this booklet and compare things like this being released in the middle of the 90s to stuff that has been released now for Blu-rays, I think that on stuff like this they put a lot of more effort into doing it instead of yeah, just the quickly releases that are coming out today from every movie. And this is just, I mean, it is amazing. It is just amazing. I really love it, and it's probably one of my favorite editions. Here's some information about the introduction story, and yeah, here we do have the plan for the mall, which is also included in a German Laserdisc version from the label Astro, which I still don't have, and I'm really looking forward to get that edition as well, but it is very expensive to get, and yeah, but I'm looking forward to get it one day, probably. Here we do have the mall where all the scenes were shot, which is awesome. I mean, if I could read this, I would translate it. Yeah, but sadly I'm not Japanese, so all you have to come along with is to see right now the pictures. Here is I think a comparison between the Romero cut, which is included in this Laserdisc version, as well as the Argento cut. Okay, here we do have some yeah, kind of promotional stuff that has been released for Dawn of the Dead, which is quite a lot. I mean, if I take a closer look at things like this, there are still a lot of editions missing in my collection. A couple of them are coming in right now, but there are a couple of other things that I have actually never seen. For example, this here, which seems to be a coin or something like that, which yeah, has printed on a zombie, and then the Japanese title and the year 1979. Weird stuff, man. This is just weird stuff. And yeah, moving on. Here we do have on the next page, it seems to be a comparison with three different versions of the movie. Therefore we have to take a closer look at this side of the booklet. And yeah, the only thing that I can read where I'm supposed to know that it is about three different versions, the length of the versions are different. Here we do have the 139-minute long version, which is the director's cut, which is just been released mainly for Laserdisc versions. So this is the Romero cut, but just for Laserdisc versions. Then we do have the 127-minute long version, which is the Romero cut, which was released in the cinemas at the time when the movie came out. And here we do have the 119-minute long version, which is actually the Euro cut. Normally it goes about 117 minutes, but it depends on the format, if it is PAL or NTSC. So the length is about 117 to 119 minutes long. Okay, this page actually shows some very amusing film mistakes that came up in the movie with some screen captures. And this is very funny to watch, because by the first time I watched the movie, and I mean I watched it a couple of times, I never seen these mistakes, but they're actually in the movie. And one of the mistakes is actually here, as you can see, a trampoline, so that the zombie could fall from there to there. Pretty cool. Then we do have here 2 zombies, but the third one is a normal guy. It's just very nice. And there are a couple of other mistakes here, which have been captured on screen. Very nice idea, I think, for an edition. And this is actually the last page, and that is it basically for the booklet. Okay, moving on with the Laserdisc. Actually, there are 4 Laserdiscs included, 2 different versions. I will shortly begin with the Romero version, which is this one, the orange tone here on the front. This is quite sturdy cardboard here. Here's the side. It even has a spine here, which is quite sturdy, and says Zombie Perfect Collection, and here the Romero version. And the back side is on the camera it looks again blue. I don't know why, but it is actually green. And we can open this up, and here on the inside we do have again an interior artwork. Very nice to my mind. Pretty cool. And on the inside here we do have the laser discs. There's nothing else inside, but I don't think that I have to show them, because I think you already know how laser discs should look. Okay, here is now the Argento cut, and the front is different. It actually has a yellow tone. Here's the spine saying that it is the Argento version, and the back, which is again purple, and on camera it does look again blue. And opening this up, the artwork on the inside does look different again. Here, very nice. I really love here the blood coming out of the head. Very nice. Okay, despite these 2 versions of Dawn of the Dead, which were released in Japan, there is actually something else that I want to mention, because it is actually very interesting, and that is the fact that there is a TV version of Dawn of the Dead out, but I'm not pretty sure if that was released on DVD, because normally when stuff comes in TV, it is just for the TV supposed to be, and that is actually the Argento cut version, which actually couldn't pass the strict Japanese censor board. And that makes the version very interesting, because the censors dealt with film graphics content when the moment of gore scene occurred. The film stopped on the frame and prior to the violence, and froze. So without the sound playing through. And then a second or 2 later, when the offending moment had passed, the film jumped back into motion. So it was quite funny to watch it, because you heard all the screaming and the noise and so on, but the picture actually was frozen. And I mean, if you watch a movie like this, you're supposed to watch a trashy movie with of course, a lot of gore scenes, and if these gore scenes are frozen, I mean, this is just weird. Then there is something else that I want to mention, and that is actually that there is a Japanese theatrical version out, which does differ from all the other versions. And what differs from these versions is the fact that there is an inclusion in the beginning of an explanation how the zombies came to Earth. And I found out that there is a translation in English for it, and I will shortly read it for you. Probably going to write it as well here down below in the video. And the beginning says, in the year 1990, I don't know, so on, an exploding planet in a far-off galaxy beamed strange rays across space to Earth. It cursed the transformation of the dead one after another into resurrected zombies seeking the earth of the living. So Herald Films, the Japanese distributor of Dawn of the Dead, felt that the Japanese audience would not be able to accept the ambitious setting of zombies on Earth that Romero had skillfully left unanswered. Instead, they felt the Japanese audience must have an answer, or else they wouldn't be able to get the story. It's actually, I mean, think about that. This is just so weird. But I mean, that is probably just something that all the different cultures have of thinking. And me, as being a European guy, I think I can't really understand it, but okay, that is probably just me. So they accomplished this by sticking some of white words onto a black background that typed across the screen, while a heavy clicking came from the soundtrack, and then came these words that I just mentioned and that are here downstairs. Okay guys, that is basically it for today. I think with the reviewing of this Laserdisc version, you have learned a lot more about Japan, the way of thinking, the way how doing perfect editions, and of course as well getting to know a new, very great Dawn of the Dead edition. I hope you enjoyed this review as much as I did, and as usual guys, hope to see you all next time.